Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Drew, and welcome back to another episode of Matilda Secure's Empowering Voices series. Today, I'm joined by special guest Alondra. How's it going, Alondra?
It's going good, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about growing up. So, what was it like growing up in the Bay Area?
So it was actually, I had a pretty normal childhood, I'd say. I always lived in the same town. I never moved around. I grew up in Redwood City and then went to school in an immersion school. So that was really nice. I guess I always got that Spanish language and culture, I guess, within me through those like first years of growing up. Um, yeah, yeah. I went to school. I go to school now in EPA. I guess that's the only like big difference. But yeah, I've always just moved on. So
Nice. All right, so this interview is special because you're also an intern with Until There's a Cure. So, I just want to talk to you about how you got involved with this foundation.
well, my dad actually knows the foundation pretty well. That's how I was introduced to Nora. And then I Googled the Until There's a Cure online, and then I found out who they were and what they did. And it was like super interesting to me. So I really wanted to see what I could do and possibly be an intern there. So I called Nora, and then I started kind of right away working with Melissa. She's the other like she works there too, Melissa. And we just yeah, I just started creating social media content. And yeah, and then during the summer, I this past summer of 2021, I started going into their office, and then I became the um like intern leader, and I started creating my own projects. So yeah.
Nice. So you started during the pandemic, so in 2020 or early 2021?
No, during the pandemic in like early 2021, actually, not 2020. Yeah, early 2021.
Nice. So what was it like starting when it was like fully online and not being able to come into the office?
It was kind of weird actually because I've never first of all done an internship, so I didn't know what to expect. And then everything being online was just it had its like pros and its cons. Like I was able to really easily communicate with Melissa and Nora if I had any questions, but at the same time, it was kind of hard to really learn about the foundation like on a different level. Like it was kind of all just kind of what I found out online and the little they told me. But yeah, that's the only like con I'd say. I didn't get that like full experience from the beginning, so I didn't know much about what I was doing, like when I started. But yeah.
Uh, what kinds of projects have you been working on at Until There's a Cure?
Um, well, one of the first projects I actually like created was an interview project, which is what we're doing right now. Basically, my idea for this project was I've done interviews before. I interviewed I focused on like immigrants one time, and I interviewed an immigrant I know of, and I just wanted to do that so they could like so everyone can hear their voices, because it's different when they just talk about something rather than uplifting an issue when someone else talks about it, where they can directly say something about it. So that was how I came up with the idea of the interview project. Yeah, so to uplift voices of people who live with HIV, know someone who lives with HIV or AIDS or anything like that. I've also created some contests that's for younger people to become more involved with the HIV and AIDS movement, because it's a really it's a huge like issue, I guess, in a way. But it's like really big, but it's kind of just like hush hush all the time, which isn't right. It should be talked about a lot more. So that's why I decided to create a few contests, and also to like help with like donations with Until There's a Cure, because that's where a lot of like the money comes from like people purchasing items from Until There's a Cure and them donating it to other programs, I believe. I've done that, and those are the only two that come up to mind right now. I can't remember of any other ones.
Nice. These projects have definitely been a success so far, as this series has been going on for like almost like 15, 20 episodes. So yeah, it's been really fun. So how has Until There's a Cure impacted your life, and how has it made a difference?
Well, in the sense of like I've been more educated on what HIV and AIDS is, because I never, like, my community, specifically my like Hispanic and Latinx community, we never talk about that. It's kind of well, probably other communities don't either, but I didn't really know what it was. They just kind of talked about it for a few minutes in like sex education in middle school, and that was it. So I didn't really know anything about it. And coming to and starting to learn about Until There's a Cure, I found out how important it was, this issue, especially in like underrepresented minorities, such as like the Black community or Hispanic community, where they're like one of the most impacted groups by HIV. And it also just like raised a bunch of questions in how they're impacted in more than just like health wise. So like HIV, but they also economically are not well all the time. They have the lowest educational attainment. It's just a bunch of things come together and they all direct to the same thing. So it was kind of like an eye opening that it's not just one thing or another affecting these communities that I care about. And it's also really helped me like know how to work in a team, because interning is it's a lot of teamwork, I think, and everybody just kind of contributes, and I'd never really done that before, so that was really helpful in that sense. But yeah.
And then you mentioned that you did a lot of research on this cause. So what are some steps that people at home can take to really further the message behind raising awareness for this really important cause?
Yeah, so I'd say like following on, right now it's social media is really huge. So following accounts that kind of uplift these issues, such as Until There's a Cure, we have an Instagram account. Or also How I Value Life is like a sister branch of Until There's a Cure, where they educate people on what HIV is. Following these accounts and like not just like liking what they say or just like quickly scrolling through them, but actually like being involved with the content they post, because that can be really helpful when it comes to like empowering these types of movements. I'd also say when the opportunity comes, volunteer or participate in things that are going on. Like, for example, if someone on social media says to repost something and you automatically enter for a contest, you should probably do it, because that's like the easiest way to get involved. And you're also doing it for a good cause, and maybe you get something back in return. But social media has made everything so much easier, and things don't have to be done in person anymore. So I think that's one of the primary ways to get involved if you really want to.
Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned that you were an intern and you're the leader. So how do you see your, I guess, involvement with this foundation going forward?
Well, I really hope to create more projects in the future. This series has probably been one of my favorite interviews. It's really fun to just talk to people. Not just fun, but like it really like helps you understand, and it's very educational. So that's been really nice. Yeah, creating more projects in the future and just keeping close contact with Until There's a Cure, and maybe creating like a link between Until There's a Cure and my school, because I know we're really huge on like volunteering and empowering movements. So I think this could be a great opportunity to kind of make other youth in my school directly more interested in possibly volunteering or being an intern with Until There's a Cure. So yeah.
And then for this series, if you could pick anyone in the world to interview, who would you pick?
That's a hard question. Maybe I'd pick, I have no idea. I mean, I would choose like a lot of people. I guess I'd choose like someone who is like a politician or something, just because I would want to ask them what they're willing to do for HIV and AIDS and like the movement. But yeah, I'd also really like to interview maybe one of the founders of Until There's a Cure to see like their story behind everything, which would be really interesting. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, caught me off guard on that one.
And then you are a senior in high school right now. So what are your plans for the future?
Well, I want to go, obviously I want to go to college. That's where I'm headed to, to a 4-year college. I still don't know where, still in the process of doing everything. But my future career, I think I really want to go into like health, and specifically health disparities that communities, like minority communities, faced a lot of times. So yeah, kind of like access to health and like language barriers, all of that. I kind of really want that connected to my community.
Mm-hmm. So what kinds of things are you into right now? Like hobbies, anything like that?
I really, well, right now I'm in my cross country team, so I really enjoy like doing sports, I guess. I'm in my cross country team, so that's been hard and fun at the same time. I've been playing soccer for a really long time, maybe like 10 years. I'm not great, but I really enjoy the sport. So I plan on doing it in this season, this coming season too. Well, my last season for soccer in high school. I also I like to watch a lot of TV. I don't know how healthy that is when I have time, but yeah, I watch a lot of series like Grey's Anatomy. That one's a really popular one, and Gilmore Girls. Those are probably like two of my favorite basic series.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what else I do? I try to read, but sometimes I just end up watching TV. So yeah,
What's your favorite TV series of all time?
of all time. Well, I don't know if this is a TV series, but this is like a movie series. I really like Twilight. The like content is not that great, but I don't know why I like it so much. And then Grey's Anatomy probably is my favorite.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Um, so what are some upcoming Until There's a Cure events that you like to talk about? Like anything
Um,
that's coming up soon?
so we're currently still working on this interview project. So I think it's going to extend to more people, which is really exciting. I can't wait to see who else we're going to interview. And then there is currently a sticker contest going on, and a t-shirt contest that will be like released in a few days. So that would be really exciting for people to get involved. And then there will also be a World AIDS Day campaign, which is one of like the biggest campaigns for HIV and Until There's a Cure, which we will be taking this year since we are back in person in school to most schools. Like I'm going to be doing it at my high school, and other interns with Until will be doing that too. So that's really exciting. And then I think that's like the most recent thing that's gonna happen right now. But yeah.
Where can people find these projects? Like on what platforms?
They can go to the Until There's a Cure Instagram, which is UTAC. I don't know what it is actually. I think it's Until There's a Cure.org.
Yeah,
That's the
like
website.
at until.org. So UNTILORG. So make sure to go follow that page and stay tuned with what we have coming up next.
Yeah.
And then finally, to wrap it up, if you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
Um, I'd be I was gonna say penguin, but their home is kind of like getting destroyed right now, so I probably wouldn't want to be there. So then maybe a giraffe because I'm not very tall, so it'd be really cool to see like life from a very high perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or
Definitely.
some flying animal or bird. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be dope. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on this interview. And thank you to you guys for tuning in and listening to this episode. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.